Welcome to the KK TV.
Make sure you guys subscribe to our channel.
We do doll videos, Roblox, baking, and vlogs.
We also do short films such as The Story of Crazy Face, and we also do Talking Hot Showdown.
A special thank you to Blue Blood Sports TV. Thank you so much for your support. We will continue to work hard and bring you more content. Bye!
Show support. Subscribe to KK Penson TV. If you got children, if you got nieces, if you got nephews, if you got little cousins, if you have friends that have kids, make sure they subscribe to KK Penson TV. Please do that. Show love and show support.
Hi, my name is Heather Vahid Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. This is Amanda, the Real Deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Hi, I'm Courtney.
And I'm Janita.
And you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, legendary, former multi-division world champion, Hall of Fame, iconic boxer, Sugar Ray Leonard, has some choice words for today's top welterweights. Undefeated, unified WBC, IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, ERROL the Truth Spence Jr., and undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight, undisputed world champion, currently WBO welterweight world champion, Terence Bud Crawford. He says, just fight already. Sugar Ray Leonard says, if y'all saying y'all the best, prove it. Get in the ring against amongst one another and show the boxing world and the fans and the boxing pundits who is the best. Prove who is the best. Sugar Ray Leonard states that these guys are not spring chickens. As we know, Terence Crawford is 32 years of age. Errol Spence is 30 years of age. So Sugar Ray Leonard is stating that they're not the youngest bunch of boxers in the world, right? They're not the springest chickens. So he stated that, Father Time is undefeated. And see, this is something that I have been saying, but I've been accused of creating a narrative when I say that age and Father Time is not on their side, particularly Terence Crawford, because Terence Crawford is 3 years Errol Spence's elder. With that said, Sugar Ray Leonard said, in my time, in my era, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about purses. It was about legacy and proving who was the best. He says, I had 2 times in my career where money and purses and that thing became public. That was against Marvin Hagler when I was coming out of retirement, and that was in Thomas Hitman Hearns' rematch, the second fight. He said it was widely publicized about the money, who was making more, the purse splits, things of that nature, right? He said, but for the majority of his career, it was solely about proving who was the best. He's getting tired of, he says that he's getting tired of hearing, about purses. He says, and these fighters are too sensitive. He says, I'm not going to pick who I think will win the fight publicly, because if I do so, if I favor a fighter or make mention of a fighter having some sort of advantage, the other fighter gets sensitive. He said, I made mention of Mikey Garcia having a possible chance of beating Errol Spence because of his boxing ability, because of his experience, and Errol Spence took it to heart, got sensitive about it, and he wasn't too happy. He says that I understand, because I would have felt the same way if Muhammad Ali would have chosen Tommy Hearns over me. He said, but needless to say, today's fighters are much more sensitive than the fighters of yesteryear. But he stated that he just wants to see the fight, and he doesn't want them to get too old and the fight not have the same amount of impact that it would in their prime. So he stated that, he's definitely, he's saying that, he just wants to see the fight in their prime. He's tired of hearing about who is the best. He wants to see it. So he said that in his time, in his era, he had those 2 times that was widely publicized. Negotiations was throughout the public, right? The boxing world. So, but I do remember Sugar Ray Leonard putting Marvin Hagler on hold. And before the Tommy Hearns fight, the first fight, he was kind of dragging his feet in that fight. He also dragged his feet in the Aaron Pryor fight. So Sugar Ray Leonard is not squeaky clean and just didn't agree to fight any and everybody on the drop of a dime. That wasn't the case with Sugar Ray Leonard. All of these fighters have a very short memory, and they all have amnesia when it comes to, negotiations and fights in their era. They always look back. Yeah, hindsight is always 2020. Did he get the fights done with Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, and Hagler? Yes, he sure did. But with that said, he invited Marvin Hagler to an event, and Marvin Hagler and the world and the boxing pundits and the media thought that he was going to announce a fight between himself and Marvin Hagler, and he got Marvin Hagler up there and embarrassed Marvin Hagler. And then when Marvin Hagler came up, he said, the world would love to see this fight. Too bad it's not going to happen. So Sugar Ray Leonard played a lot of games in negotiations and dragged his feet on a lot of big fights, right? So let's not be fooled by hindsight. Hindsight is always 2020. Yes, he eventually got the fights done, but he didn't fight these guys at the drop of a dime. And so there is some barriers. We know that Terence Crawford is signed with Top Rank and ESPN. Errol Spence is signed with the PBC, Fox, and Showtime. So, there's barriers there. The two networks have to come together. The two promoters and managers and advisors have to come together to get this fight over the hump. And Errol Spence suffered a horrific car accident October 10th. And he's just coming back, and he's going to fight Danny Garcia. He gave us 3-fight plan layout, for the future. And we have to see how this all turns out. But Sugar Ray Leonard is not happy, and he wants this fight to get over the hump already. He says, I'm of the belief, a lot of people in the boxing world believe that this fight is never going to happen. He said, I'm optimistic, and I'm of the belief that this fight will eventually come to fruition. So let's see how this all plays out. But he said he's definitely not going to pick a fighter who's not going to say who has an edge, because he don't want one fighter to be mad at him. The boxing's today's time are too sensitive. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hey, this is Jasmine. Thank you for watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, soy Jasmine. Gracias por ver Sangre Azul Deportes TV. Gracias.